What's going on, guys? Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. We're going to do a Bitcoin update. There's a few different things that I want to get into. Last video I did was yesterday morning, and we've had some price development since then. I did not get a chance to do one this morning, but I apologize about that. I will try to get one done tomorrow morning. But here we are. So let's hop right into it, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I do this for entertainment and educational purposes only. So do not blindly follow anything I say or do. All right. So let's first of all go through the ideas here real quick, up kind of on a higher level. So I have got the viewpoint that this is well, I'll zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so for those of you fairly new to the channel, you guys know that I'm looking at this wave up as a 1, a 2, and then this is a 1 as well. And this entire structure that we're in here is a corrective structure. And how that breaks down, it's really hard to tell at the moment. It can be a few different things, but ultimately what I've got it as is a possible WXY with a possible bottom being in here. And if that is the case, which this is not my primary, this is an alternate, and in my opinion is not very likely at the moment, just based on the way price action is unfolding, but it still could be a leading diagonal in the start of our 3-wave, being this our 1 wave, this would be our 2 wave, and then this would be the start of our 3 wave. And this move off of the low here is corrective. It's a 3-wave move, so this would have to be a leading diagonal, as in a 1, a 2, and then this would be an A, B, and then a C for a 3. And then we would need a ABC down for a 4, and then an ABC up, break above the top of that 3 in order for this to possibly come into fruition and be a potential count, or a potential bottom here in a potential 5-wave diagonal, which would look something like that. So again, that is not my primary. I won't really, I guess I won't take this off until price breaks 25,866 right here. So once that level is broken, this becomes completely invalidated, and will no longer be on the chart. But I guess really until that happens, I'm going to keep it on the chart for now, just in case we do end up following through with that count. But I do not expect that to happen. I do expect that to get invalidated at some point, and I will be able to move that off. So that is scenario number 1. The other scenario is that this is a WX, and then we are working right now on our Y wave, which would be this A, B, and then a final C wave down. And this B wave here would be broken into an A, B, C, like so, to put in our B, and then a final C wave down, which would mean that we would be impulsive down. So this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we would have an entire, impulse down before we reverse up for our 2 wave and then into our 3 wave. So that is one scenario. The other scenario is that this is basically a 3-waved, it could be an A wave, could be a W, and then this could be a B or an X, and then this could be a Y, which would impulse in a 3-wave, or not impulse, but would behave in a 3-wave structure down to put in our Y wave, which again, this would be a W, an X, and a Y. So that is possible as well. We just really have to figure out how this wave is unfolding and kind of get an idea of where it's going to end up targeting. So zooming out here on the higher level, if this is the W and then this entire structure down is the Y, we've already satisfied really from a fib extension standpoint our 1.0, which is right here, fib extension, which this hit there, and it also hit there as well. That is a typical fib extension for, you know, an A equals C or a WXY or whatever. If this was an ABC, that would be a typical fib extension for that. So we've already satisfied that, but obviously we are still projecting lower. You know, I have got us projecting somewhere around the 50% retracement level of this entire one wave up, which puts us right around 24,600 or so, which obviously would be below the typical 1.01236 fib extension, just, you know, briefly wicking below it. But the other possible scenario is that this entire structure here is, you know, a W, and then you would take your fib extension from there to the top of your X or your B, and then that gives us a slightly lower target of 23,729. So really depending on kind of how this wave unfolds, you know, this could project down to a couple different target zones and a couple different target areas to watch for. You know, the 618 retracement level of this entire wave here is at 23,333. You know, and 786 would be a very deep two, which I would prefer not to see it go that deep, but that's all the way at 21,585. But as of right now, it looks kind of to be projecting anywhere really in between the 618 fib retracement and the 50% fib retracement, which is an ideal spot for a retracement of a two wave. So I do like that it is projecting towards that zone and towards that area. Just really, again, it's going to depend how we end up unfolding in this wave down, which we are going to zoom into right now. Oops. Yeah. All right. So I've had this structure in my Discord this morning a little bit different. I originally had us as a 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm sorry, 3. Wait, hold on. I had us originally as a 1, 2. And then this was a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, guys, my bad. As a 1, 2, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Actually, so yeah. So 1, 2, 3, and then this hit our 382 fib retracement level, perfectly on the nose of our wave 2, which is right here, which is this 4. So we got rejected at the 382 fib retracement level, and then went down for our potential 5 wave. So this could be a 1 wave down as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And then we would want to see some sort of a (618) retracement, roughly, with 50% to 618 retracement would be an ideal spot for a larger degree 2 wave, which if we go all the way to 618, we would be targeting around 24,000 or so if this was just a standard impulse, which would be this 1, a 2, a 3, down here at 1618, and then a 4, and then a 5, down here around the 2.0 extension level or so. So that would target us down roughly around 24,000, which again is in the range that we discussed earlier between the 618 and the 50% retracement. So that is possible, which would again look something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Being, let's change the degree of it, and I will change the color of it as well to not get it confused with the diagonal, the leading diagonal possibility there. Okay, so that would mean that we would need to get some sort of retracement up to about 27,469 to 27,698. Somewhere in that zone is where I would anticipate a rejection for us to follow through in this impulsive structure down. So that is one possible scenario if this is that ABC. And the WX, this is the ABC of the Y, and this is the C of the Y wave. That's one scenario. Now, if this is a WX and then this is a Y coming down, this would end up being an A wave. You would have a B wave, and then you would have a C down, which at this point could be, if assuming this is the bottom here, this could be projecting, to 25,315 or so if we do get a retrace back up to about the 50% level, which would be above the 50% retracement of the entire one wave, which I really don't. I'd really like to see it at least hit 50% of the retracement of the one wave. So I don't really like that idea as much. But the other potential scenario is that we are developing actually a ending diagonal where this is actually a one wave, this is a 2, this is possibly an A of R3, you would have a B, then you would have a 3 down, so that would be, a 1, 2, 3, and then you would have a ABC up, and then possibly an ABC back down, which again would be targeting roughly closer to our 50% retracement level. So that is another scenario that is possible as well. But really, ultimately, guys, as of right now, this entire structure has been uber choppy, uber corrective. There is absolutely nothing trending about this structure here. There's no clear trend, down impulsively. There's a lot of overlap going on, which from an Elliott wave standpoint is just a corrective structure, meaning it's choppy, it's frustrating, it's boring. This has just pretty much been, a sideways consolidation for the most part. There's no signs of impulsive behavior whatsoever. So, needless to say, this structure down will probably continue to be, fairly similar to what we've had, and will probably morph quite a bit. But it's just really important to understand, what our key levels are, what our pivot points are, and what areas we can be, looking for a bottom. And then more importantly, once it does get to those levels, if we do bottom and we start to show signs of an impulsive structure, on a micro level, if we bottom, say here, and then all of a sudden we see a 5-wave impulse off of the low, and then a 3-wave hold, and then a pop back above, then that's a clear sign, for me at least, because I'm fairly aggressive, that, hey, the bottom is in, it's time to rock and roll. So that's ultimately what we'll be looking for in those key areas. I do personally hope that this gets invalidated as our possible leading diagonal, just because that would be extremely painful, again, for quite a bit more time. Very choppy, not good trading conditions, whether you're trading with leverage or spot or whatever. It's just choppy, and it's ripe to get chopped up and lose some money on. So I'm really hoping that we do break below this level here and we impulse down, or just get down to these levels, bottom in an impulsive structure upwards. Then we can likely say that the bottom is in and start looking for some different trades, leverage trades, whatever, or just be more comfortable with the positions that you're currently in if you're in different positions. But ultimately, for the most part, guys, I'm sorry this video is getting a little long. I do believe that this thing is corrective, and we are going to finish our 2-wave and bounce up in a 3-wave, and we'll look back at this and forget how painful it was. But we have been navigating it very well. So just keep watching the videos, and we will navigate this as it goes together. See y'all later.